Hello everybody and my friends, welcome to a very special video in a new series. I want to get your guys' feedback on if you think this is good or not, but it's going to revolve around pet battle stuff because I had seriously begun doing pet battles in Warlords of Draenor. I mean, the reasoning was because in 6.0 there was like nothing for me to do, so I decided one night. Actually, the funny story about it is how I went about beginning to do pet battles in Draenor was one night I was very drunk, and I decided I'm going to level the pets that I have because I'm sick of seeing this stupid quest to unlock this menagerie. And you know, like 3 months later, I have a level 3 menagerie with like what do I have, like 80 level 25 pets at this point. It's a whole bunch. Let me just show you guys. It's all 25. And I've actually like battled with every single one of these. I only really do PvE pet battles. PvP pet battles I don't really find that much interest in, mainly because I just don't like PvP in general. But, so, the very first episode of this pet battle series is, I'm going to explain to you what the HOWL bomb is. And for those of you who are not familiar with pet battles, I'm getting a lot of weird frame rate issues right now. If you don't know, if you're not involved in pet battles and you don't know what the HOWL bomb is, it is a technique that is exceptionally useful for beating almost every single boss battle pet that you could ever meet. I think the only exception where it doesn't work really well in is the Celestial Tournament on Timeless Isle, but that's a whole nother bag of worms for a whole nother video. So, the HOWL bomb is a combination attack that essentially, when you boil it down to it, it's forcing an enemy to be hit with 2 attacks at the same time for double the damage, and it takes coordination between 2 pets to do so. So the most optimal way to use the HOWL bomb is with 2 specific pets, and I'll be covering them right now. The first is the Pandaren Water Spirit, right here. And I'll probably be doing a video on how more thoroughly to get the Pandaren Water Spirit if you don't want to pay a whole bunch of money for it. But in my opinion, the Pandaren Water Spirit is arguably the best battle pet in the entire game. The very fact that it has access to Whirlpool and Geyser at the same, able to be used at the same, in the same slot. Usually most pets that have access to Whirlpool and Geyser, and I'll explain what those are in a second, they're usually in the same tier, so you can only pick Whirlpool or Geyser. But the Pandaren Water Spirit can use both of them at the same time, without having to force between one or the other. So the HOWL bomb consists with using the Pandaren Water Spirit, using Geyser, and then using Whirlpool. And both of these abilities, they are delayed hit attacks. So Geyser, for example, you can see here, you use it, and then after 3 rounds, a Geyser erupts, hits the enemy pet for a pretty significant amount of damage in its own right, and then stuns the enemy pet for 1 round. Whirlpool does basically the same thing, except it does it in 2 rounds, and instead of stunning, it makes it so that the enemy pet cannot be switched out for 2 rounds. And so the HOWL bomb consists of opening up with the Pandaren Water Spirit, using Geyser, using Whirlpool, and then switching to the second pet that's important in this HOWL bomb combination attack, Chrominius. And Chrominius' role is to use HOWL. And HOWL forces the enemy pet to take double damage for 2 turns. So if you just imagine it with me, and I'm going to show you it in active time in a second, but you use Geyser, and the beautiful thing is Geyser takes 3 rounds to go off, but Whirlpool takes 2 rounds to go off. So you use Geyser, and then the next turn you use Whirlpool, and at that point both of them will take 2 more turns to go off. So they both go off in the same turn. You switch into the Chrominius, you use HOWL, and at the end of that specific turn, whoa, a whole bunch of damage hits the enemy pet team. And even more than that, Chrominius also has access to an ability called Surge of Power, which does an enormous amount of damage without even talking about it being doubled by HOWL, and then forces you to recharge for 2 turns. Think of it, my Pokemon fans out there, as Hyper Beam, but on steroids. It does so much damage, but you take 2 turns doing nothing. So, Pandaren Water Spirit, as I said earlier, in my opinion, the best pet in the game. How do you get the Pandaren Water Spirit? If you don't want to pay a buttload of gold, which you always can if you have a lot, you have to complete a very difficult pet battle quest in your specific faction's shrines in the Vale of the Eternal Blossom. And you basically need to fight 4 different pet teams that are very difficult. I believe they are legendary quality, which means those pets inherently take 50% less damage from all sources. So, and since at that point you don't have access to the Pandaren Water Spirit unless you've bought it already, it's quite difficult. And I'm thinking about making an entire video on how to beat all those fights if you don't want to waste money buying it. But that's how you get that. Chrominius is much easier to get. It just drops from Chromagus from Blackwing Lair. And honestly, the hardest part about getting Chrominius is learning how to do the first boss in Blackwing Lair, Razorgore, by yourself. And it's not really hard at all. I mean, I've been raiding Blackwing Lair in vanilla, so I knew how to do it. But yeah. So you can also buy a Chrominius. Actually, it probably isn't that expensive. We can, like, in real time, just go look right now how much it costs. It's probably only about 1,000, maybe 1,500 gold at the most. Chrominius. See? Yeah. 1,100 gold. I wonder if Pandaren Water Spirit's on the auction house. Pandaren Water Spirit. Wow, 3,000! That's really cheap. I've seen it go for 20, 30 grand before. Wow. I'm actually considering buying that and putting it up as a higher price, but holy cow. So yeah. So I'm going to show you the HOWL Bomb in real time. Let's fight this. So if you don't know, once you unlock the Pet Menagerie, every day you will get pets that show up for you to battle in the challenge post. And I believe there's like 10 or 15 rotating groups of pets and trainers that show up. And they all have very specific abilities. For example, these two, King and Queen Floret, they will buff each other to do mega damage. There are other groups where it's like a group of 3 birds that have inherently 50% increased chance to critical strike. But you also get that chance to critical strike, so it kind of like balances it out. Blah, blah, blah. So, this actually is not the optimal strategy to beat King and Queen Floret, the HOWL Bomb. I actually don't even know if I'll be able to, but I'm just going to show it to you. So, you begin the fight with the Pandaren Water Spirit, as you see right here. First turn, you use Geyser. She will probably just hit me or something. Yeah, there we go. Second turn, you use Whirlpool. That was the mega damage attack that she can do. Third turn, you just are spent switching to Chrominius. And then fourth turn, you use Howl. So now it'll take double damage, and both of these are going to hit after she goes. So just watch her health up here. That's one hit. That's the other hit. That burned through 2,200 health. That is an obscene amount of health. Because these pets, mind you, have more health because there's only 2 of them. You're fighting 2 with your team of 3, so just remember. Now, I don't even have to use Surge of Power because my bite will do more than enough damage since she's still affected by Howl and will take double the damage, but I just want to show it to you guys. So this is Surge of Power. And it did basically half of her health on her own, but now I don't think I'm going to be able to beat King Floret because I mean, we could try. This doesn't really matter, but that was the HOWL Bomb that we saw there. I might be able to still. Let's try it out. So let's use Geyser. Let's try out Whirlpool. He's weak to water aquatic abilities, so maybe we'll... Now we're going to switch into Iggy, the Emerald Proto-Whelp, who I need to... He'll be in a different video. You'll see him in the next episode where we're covering the legendary pets, because he has... the Emerald Proto-Drake has maybe the most sustained ability through healing out of any pet in the game, and it's amazing how much he can sustain himself. But I don't think I'm going to be able to beat him here. Yeah, I'm just not going to have enough damage, so I'm just going to forfeit and not even waste your time. So, that's the HOWL Bomb. You saw how quickly we killed Queen Floret. Now, there are weaknesses to the HOWL Bomb. It's incredibly inefficient to use in PvP, because almost everyone who PvPs with pet battling can see the HOWL Bomb come from a million miles away. You bring out the Pandaren Water Spirit turn 1, and they're going to know you're going to do it. And there are a lot of abilities in the game that lets you dodge things for a turn. Let's just see if I can... I have a bunch of pets that can do it. Let me just see if I find one. There are a lot of pets that have ability to let them just dodge damage for a single turn. Like dodge, straight up dodge is just an ability people have. There are other abilities like Fly, where it'll fly up for a turn and dodge out of the way, or dive underwater for a turn and dodge out of the way. I'm trying to see if I have one here. I know I do. I know that my rabbit does. What was his name? Snickers? Yeah, see, dodge. Increases dodge out of the, for 100%, so you will always be, they will always miss you. So, in PvP, HOWL Bomb I don't think is even effective if you're first versing someone who knows what they're doing. Secondly, and going in with that point, HOWL Bomb takes 4 turns to set up. And if you're interrupted in any of those 4 turns by any number of abilities like Stun, or Sleep, or Polymorph, which a bunch of pets have, then you might as well just forfeit and try again, because the attacks will not line up. Geyser will go off before Whirlpool, and one of them won't be affected by Howl, and it's just worth it just restarting again. You're actually going to see that in the next video when I fight one of the legendary pets who has this move called Toad Kiss that has a 25% chance to turn your pet into a frog and not let him do anything for a turn. I ended up getting Polymorph twice, and I had to restart the fight because it messed up my HOWL Bomb. So, that's the HOWL Bomb technique. You can use it in almost every single case versus the AI pet battlers to just destroy things. So, yeah, there we go. I was talking about this on Twitter, and I figured I would make a video on the HOWL Bomb. And then, the next 2 episodes you're going to see is me abusing the shit out of the HOWL Bomb to kill all of the legendary pets in non-jungle that were just added. So, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you think this series would be interesting, and if you're interested in pet battles. Maybe you never thought about like doing pet battles like me, and maybe this will pique your interest, because, you know, it's actually surprisingly fun. I don't like the grinding aspect of it, and it's kind of funny because I'm a hardcore Pokemon player, and I do min-max Pokemon breeding. Maybe not super hardcore, but I do it. But just in this case, I'm not a big fan of it, because there are, I didn't even mention, but there are stats that pets have. For example, health, power, and speed vary between pets, and what I mean is, I could have 2 Pandaren water spirits of the same level, and their healths won't be the same, their damage won't be the same, and their speed won't be the same. It's like different values are given to different pets. So, I don't really care about that aspect of it. In some regard, I guess you can call me more of a casual endgame pet battler, rather than hardcore. But yeah, let me know if you guys think this is interesting, and if I should continue it after the legendary pets, because there are some other things I think we could do that would be pretty interesting. For example, getting the Pandaren Water Spirit without having to spend money, or doing the Celestial Pet Tournament, which is very difficult, or doing any of the other, I could just show you all of the pet battle trainers of Draenor. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about this series, in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned for the next 2 episodes where we kill all 15 legendary pets into non-jungle that were just added. But until then, stay awesome, and farewell.